What's going on? Open for business. Not much, Squirmy. What's up? You know you're invited, so you're welcome to come in if you want. You got that link. You don't have to though, bro. No big deal. Yeah, man. If you're in the middle of something, keep doing it. My thing is, man. I just reread the letter that we're under right now, and they made so many ins and outs for themselves that outside of using my lawyer for power, it's like they're guaranteed to kick us right out of this thing. Hell yeah, get it done, bro. That's cool. What's up, not good? What's up? Hello. Hello. Gal Pal, Dan. I hope you guys are doing great, man. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see Wormy, too. Wormy's busy. He's got to do some stuff tonight, he said. But he's listening and he's in the chat, yeah? In the house. What's so funny? You're cleaning? Yeah. Oh, you're great, Gal Pal. Great to hear. Great to hear. Thank you. What's up with snow, Gal Pal? What's up with snow over there? We got like they said Saturday is gonna be something. There's a little early morning overnight dusting disappeared by like 11. You know what I mean? It's been cold and our stuff doesn't work. No way. And also they've dug holes in the front buildings that were burnt out and stuff, or burnt or washed out, you know. So they've dug the floors out and all that shit. A foot and a half. Yeah, that's impressive. I would have enjoyed sledding as a 11-year-old. It's still there. Wow, we got nothing. We got nothing. I know, isn't it fun? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fun. Just grab a plastic bag and go, you know. Mm. I see that little golden glow. That was a couple drops of Mountain Dew. That really takes the bitterness off of whatever you got, you know. A couple of drops of electronic juice, weird brominated vegetable oil, and super concentrated orange. And they originally Mountain Dew, I guess, was supposed to be like a whiskey mixer, you know, but it wasn't the orange drink that it is now. It's quite different. Probably more like a lemon sour type, something that people like. You know, that guy who shoot right through there with the triple X and jug, all that good old Appalachian goodness, all that wildery. Wahoo, man. I don't like it either. But they sponsored my 1992 skateboard tour of the Del Tacos in La Brea and Costa Mesa. So I'm forever grateful. They would only give me 2-ounce cups. Code Red, man. Where do you get that in an antique store? I don't even know. I've never had it actually. So I generally don't like red colored things. Drink, you know, especially nothing on the damn Tiki menu. I mean, rum is bad enough because it's just sugar malt, you know, and that's kind of, man, that's dirty coke. Dirty coke. It's like having one of those Simplies or one of those weird clear malts that they make. You want some grape, fucking dad's grape or whatever? Yeah, soda sucks. Soda's terrible. I like coffee, but tea is actually where it's at. You know, you want to feel good, have your tea instead of your soda. It has the lift, but doesn't have the sludge of like, you know, malt syrup or whatever. I mean, malt syrup is all up in my face, but it's nighttime. I'm trying to get down. one of my favorite recordings. Brian, I can't answer you. I told you. I sent you a link, right? Fucking Brian. Love you, man. You don't like sugar at all? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, that's almost like, I mean, you like watermelon. You like grapes. You like the sugar that mammals are supposed to like. Like, I don't know about banana. I don't want to talk about banana. I mean, I eat it because it helps. It like makes glossy fingers, but I don't really like it. Oh, so you like natural stuff? So that's cool. That's cool. I mean, those are fructose. I'm going to assume mostly because what there's fructose and glucose. But yeah, I mean, extracted, granulated, processed cane sugar. You're not really that into. That's cool. Do you do weird substitutes? Because I do. I don't care. I like to go sometimes and just give them a try. But you go to the Dollar Tree, get a packet. I want a pink. I want a yellow. And then when you open their little packets, you're like, there ain't no fucking way I'm pouring all this shit in there. You just go, and then, all right, it tastes like I'm fucking licking some kind of metal. Nice. But putting, 4 packets in of like a Splenda or something, that's insanity, man. I mean, hmm. I imagine that's what a galvanized hose tastes like. Not to eat, but to savor, to extract, to suck on. A galvanized hose. So I looked over our, fix your conditions or else sort of paper, and I've been pretty funny about because we already moved half of the weight out of here. So, but now I've been pretty funny of making like checkerboard patterns and stuff like that. But whew, I read it over again, our like, or please vacate sort of notification, and they gave themselves so many trapdoors and loopholes, and they know that things are fucked over here, and basically, there's no way they're gonna say, and you're cool to stay. There's not, excuse me. There's nothing in the world we could do. We couldn't throw any more money at them. So where do we go? That's the question. It's a good question. But you also got to understand when your place is already broken, man, it goes all the way back to my first stream. I was talking about how that circuit over there doesn't even work. And I was like, it's kind of like, sort of council housing. As long as you fucking know, then you can do something about it. So where do we go is a good question, but that's why I have that lawyer. That's why I wasn't so big on digging into the details of that letter that first time, because I figured I'm not the one with the degree, just give it to him. It cites out sections of the lease. He was fairly confident with his cursory glance of the lease that we were not in violation of the lease, because I told him that, that was delivered to me verbally. Now, I also told him I have my tape evidence, and then I have, the paperwork that's on the door, and then I have the paperwork that was handed to me. And I think now that I dig at it deeper, as I said, it just seems like there's going to be a no matter what. So that's really not a bad thing for us. Number one, where do we go from here? That's going to be a tick, 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 day by day situation. My mother is coming home one day early, as she planned last week. She doesn't know new developments or anything like that. But that's one thing. She'll be here to help. She's very, very kind to do so. I have called a past moving company that I've used very well in the past, and asked them for some assistance in the next couple of days. And that's just an acquaintance thing, like 2 or 3 hours. And yeah, my mom's cool. Yeah, she's great. But that's an acquaintance thing. I asked for a couple of hours, and then I'll let them know this is what we're going to do for these 2 or 3 hours. But then let's assess the rest. How do we take care of the rest? Just so I have another out, because we cannot lose. And what I mean by that is when your situation is as broken as it is, one thing that would be wonderful, which I've already asked for, was a direct transfer of units, as long as it has the same orientation, because we have learning difficulties and dyslexia as adults, and then our children are people with autism. So we need some sort of familiarity, if possible, if staying within our lease for the next months that it plays out. And that's fairly important to us because our son, who is 18 years old, is in a super specific private alternative school. It's the last school he's been to. He's already 18. He doesn't have to go to school anymore. He's set to graduate in just a few months. So we're just trying to stay on this road bodily. That's what we've been doing. Even though you're evicted from the home, you can still show up at the bus stop. Bodily, we need to be present. The rest of this shit doesn't matter. We've also already done our part. I've just started doing it more artistically, actually, because their whole thing, fire department, was 50%. So I started like, now that we've already moved 50% of our belongings out, I started messing with that concept and said, I'm going to tweak this and make it photo ready. Like, 50%. Like, there's the empty spot. Empty, full, full, empty. Yeah, just kind of. And then even checkerboard it like black, white, white, fucking. Does that look like half? Does that look like half? Does that look like half? Oh my God, creature man. I think we won. Does that look like half? The fuck? I've started making it so that you can make it like sort of a photo series. Just so that it's so clear that the picture tells the fucking story, Whatever. Half, you see? Yeah. Empty, full. Yeah. They're over there too. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Empty, full, whatever. Lightweight shit. Fucking flowers up there. What do you think they weigh? 72 ounces, maybe? They're fucking flowers. They're dry. Back to Earth, Captain Kirk. Not me. That's not me. Dr. Brock. We accumulate in our lives. It's not even just that. It was actually funny because it came up yesterday. There was a very specific thing because I studied Robert Ripley up and down and back and forth. And there was a very specific thing that I would have just grabbed the book off the shelf and re-referenced. And that's due to dyslexia and things like that. I needed to re-reference it. It was a very specific thing and I knew I had it. I studied the man for 3 years, Robert Ripley. It was a personal interest of mine. Anyways, there's one little fucking detail that I would have just grabbed my book. That's a library. That's what it's for. Now, this is the thing you miss. I don't buy shit anymore. Nothing. Zero. I buy nothing but consumables anymore. We buy fucking cheese. We buy Mountain Dew, and we swill it and it's gone. I don't buy a fucking thing anymore. We passed inspection here for 6 years. And we passed on the weight limit that we're supposedly above at this time. Okay. For 6 years, anytime they chose to inspect, they were free to inspect. That's their right by law. But you got to remember, a lease actually protects a tenant much more than it does the landlord. The only difference is a landlord will never come to you and say, hey, I'd like you to do something, make some little changes and be reasonable and be kind. No, it's always a threat. It's if, don't, out. They can't really do that. But what I'm saying is, where forward from here, there's no loss. And we're not going to make this a human story where the kids walk on, their possessions may have to be sacrificed, but the humans are what matter. We're not going to do this. We're going to do a pro-possession story. We're going to keep this fucking culture for 40 years in the future. I am so sorry, but this is bullshit. A good writer had to read The Ivory Tower and The Dregs of Society in order to become a good writer, somebody that other people could understand, somebody that a group could appeal to. He had to read The Ivory Tower and The Dregs. So under every Elton John record, there's 1,000 things that nobody's ever heard that are so much more important. And they're not leaving Earth. I and somebody else has to have that sense. to just foster these things into 40 years in the future. I can't lose anything. I can get a carnival sized storage unit for what we pay in utilities here every month. I can get a carnival sized storage unit for what we pay in utilities in our soaked wood, air leaking, window everywhere, 14-year-old appliance, fucking 70s accoutrements that were built here in 2014, but they just used the old shit. And I like that. I'm very industrial. But we can't move. As many dollars as fall out the window from the fact that there's none of these windows are sealed, right? Like all year, and we never even get the comfortable fucking temperature. We wear our coats and shit. No, absolutely not. I'm completely reasonable, Kevin Fisher. How are you? I was hammered by birth, I suppose, or by escaping scarlet fever in early youth. One or the other. But no, I'm actually like, why? You need a drink? Yeah, or I need to get there. Oh. Hey, Kevin, are you the hunter? Yeah, I don't really get hammered, you know? Cheddar brats. Yeah. I like to cook them outside, throw the fucking yingling on them. I cut them open so that they bleed out a little bit and they get those chars, and then I yingling them on, you know, and then, you know, I use Cajun those motherfuckers. But yeah, cheddar brats are awesome. Hey, Dougie Doug, what's up? Little bit hammered, Kevin? Come on, man. I'm not hammered. I'm bloody. Welcome, man. If you're not subscribed, please do. That's something I haven't been asking, and now it's important. I need to do the double. I mean, no offense. I'll subscribe you back, or even better if we get better things going. Man, there's nothing too hot for me, Squirmy. You really don't know that yet? I was drinking the Belizean to show you. I ate the same amount of fucking pepper gas as I sent you. You know? Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Yeah, right. I showed you. That's all I'm saying. And remember that first thing, and that was my thing. He said, "Why do I need your weak pepper gas? I can get it from, you know, Uncle Roy." No, you cannot get my shit from Uncle Roy either. Yeah, Belizean's good. You can get that all the time, and I encourage you to do that. That's why we do it. Because when I make my own, it only lasts as long as it lasts. We had to send you basically what was half left. And so we had another 2 weeks. That's it. Yeah, but pepper gas is a gift from our farmer. She grew them. It's a passion thing. I made it on stream, you know, because I wanted to do like kitchen shit, but I don't have a kitchen anymore. So guess what, guys? Guess what? I mean, if we're in a fucking motel hole or whatever, you know, and I have to go like kind of borrow one from Walmart, you know, where you get the little, let's put the single eye down because tonight we're making marinara. I'll do that and I'll return that shit to Target tomorrow because people do that all the time and they're just like, well, it works, but not to my specifications. You know, it's like we can do that too. We don't have to be left out of that game. Whew, you weren't tripping, man. You just didn't know. And you're like, what, man? This is one of those old queers that wants to jump on a young cutie, you know? Dude, this is a fucked up world, you know. No offense. You did the right thing. Be careful, you know. Good God. Yeah, back to work. Me too. Well, no, because all of my work is going to be in vain. Kind of the point of the whole thing. But I got it. So how to go forward in the short term, everybody's going to have their, sort of jump bags ready as they already are because we have Motel Hop. But Squirmy's working on cleaning up the place, Dougie, as far as I know. And where am I from? I'm from Largo, Maryland. I was born in Cheverly, Maryland, at the Largo or PG County Hospital, PG County Hospital. So Largo, Maryland is 20107 or 20770 or something like that. But it's in Maryland and it's pretty small. Well, it's not pretty small because it's yeah, it is pretty small because you got our place, which is east and west Kettering. Then you got the place across the street, which is Pointer Ridge, which is this tiny, like, more industrial thing. And then you got fucking tobacco farms and pagan mystery over here. And then over there, you got the people who are the staff for the tobacco farms, but they live there and they grew up in tobacco farms. And if you can understand a word that these people who grew up 3 miles away from me said, please tell me. And I have no idea how they get through school. Because those dudes who do the huts, where they hang the shit up and open up the blinders, they speak their own language or dialect. And they grew up 3 miles from me, but they never like kind of mixed because they were in barns that were all wet and they were curing tobacco by hanging it upside down and all that cool ancient Thomas Jefferson shit. Same way in Tennessee. I believe you, man. I believe you. Is that where I still am? No, I'm in Gainesville, Virginia. Gainesville, Virginia. Same way in Tennessee. I believe you. Same way in Texas, I'm sure. I hope you guys can understand me. Maybe I sound like some kind of, some kind of early Cosby character. Somebody from the Junkyard Gang. I mean, I play the music like them. There's so many illiterate people. That's when you get into anthropology study in the world that you're like, so every time I'm just like, and, a little bit, I'll pour a little out for you. And they're always like right around the corner and they're like, thanks for thinking of me, and when they send you mail, you get it, but you look at it and you're like, what the hell? I love this guy. He's educated way beyond his potential. And that's the best thing that could ever happen to you in this life, I suppose, because there's nothing like quality. Well, you sound legit, or at least type that way, Kevin. And you're friends with Dougie, and you sub me up. That's sub me up, or whatever it says. That's all. Oh, you can understand me. Okay, so yeah. Well, I've been having teeth troubles. I got a whole box of them. But so I don't know. I buzz and I hear things different. It's just like, hey, you got to file it up down to stop the buzz on the high E. That's what you said in Wayne's World. Yeah, when he wanted that white guitar. Well, I can understand you, Doug, but I understand there's a whole Northeast, I'm sure, because I've been watching people on YouTube that I understand, and like maybe we speak the same language. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Doug. It's okay. It's like a opt-in, like inclusive stuff, but you're not responsible for anything that person jumps into. It's cool. Person's being cool. I mean, I don't even know. Dan didn't even try to say something funny. Just was quiet. Why are you quiet, Dan? We love you, Dan. We like your repertoire. Kevin, this is the way I'll explain that. Fun, I don't really understand, as I don't really understand the concept of trouble, because I grew up with understanding if you go here, you're going to have fun, and if you do that, you're going to be in trouble. So I don't really understand either one of those concepts. But I must say, I've always liked to amuse and entertain the people around me. And one day it just came to the fact that, well, the audience got too big and I got too uncomfortable. And I turned away from that. And then I realized I like to be amusing, but I'm amused. I don't need the audience anymore. So now I like to welcome the audience, because whether you were there or not, I was already benefiting from this. And I just want to understand all of you better so that I don't cut any of the sort of happiness or enjoyment that you could have from it away. And I would love to provide content and purpose and meaning. And that's why I started with cooking. But this is not my fucking kitchen. I know what's coming. You know, it doesn't take a weatherman to tell you which way the wind blows. And I know what's up. So I don't have a kitchen to cook in. So we're going to do cooking in a dirt hole with a, basket that it's for an air fryer, but you put it in your cargo pants. So tonight we're going to grill 3 wild onion sprouts because they're really good or something. So I don't really need to do anything for fun because I'm always amused. I actually would rather figure things out, or if I have a thought, chase it down, try to nail it down, and that's satisfying to me. So being satisfied by, well, you're never going to be sure. I don't mean that. I don't mean go to sleep at night feeling good that you know everything. Bullshit. What I mean is I'll be satisfied with this is the current information on that. And that satisfaction is even better than fun. My favorite NFL team is no longer in existence. But people do know that I'm from 3 miles from the capital in Northeast DC side, and so they probably could figure out what that team used to be. It wasn't the Bullets, although that's only because they played basketball. I like Bullets too. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the hockey sticks, but those guys were the best. Oh, the Niners let you down? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people were like, San Francisco's more qualified for this, right? Hell yeah, I believe you. I believe that. Trust me, man. No, so honestly, when I was in my part of Maryland, right there by the Cal Center, right, because that's the northeast side, that's where I was, my favorite fucking, sports team was the Caps, the Capitals. I love that. My favorite music is, well, I'm a bass player. So there's a lot of hypnotic, type of music that people would probably have nothing to do with in the realm of folk on one level and complete Eurotrash electronica on the other. But I love all of that stuff. And my favorite band is The Damned from the UK, straight up. And my favorite years of The Damned when they were less than signed, when they were on their own label, when there was pre-MCA, when it was post-Stiff, because Stiff had a whole connection to the late 70s punk rock of the UK situation, which was great, and they continued on and they moved more New York with it. So I like all of that kind of punk rock stuff. I like all of that. But being a bass player, it's very difficult. That sick postcard, yeah. Jimi Hendrix, fuck yeah, dude. See, that's the thing. I love Jimi Hendrix, but then people will be like, don't you love other, sort of luminary of blues? And I'll say, not as much, because Jimmy had to do things a little bit upside down and backwards, right? And he had a different approach, and he learned how to play on or he tried to anyway. And this is always a good story. Tried to play on a, sort of a racquetball or tennis racket or whatever, Jimi Hendrix, hell yeah, I love Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. Who's my favorite guitarist? You got I love who's out there and playing now. I love John Five. I think he's fucking awesome, He never even got to show himself in the bands that you've heard him from, because he does do a lot of, playing for a guy like Marilyn Manson, obviously, or Rob Zombie or somebody like that. But standalone, best guitarist around. He's a good one that you can get on tour. My favorite musician that I could get cheapest on tour, because everybody's like, you got to pay to book them in and you got to pay their flights. I'm like, well, let's bring Reggie Watts and 4 synthesizers and fucking samplers and shit, because if I could just bring Reggie Watts, it's really one seat and a one check bag, That's a good musician that you could use right now that's out there, you know? Yeah, it is a sick postcard. Stormy, you're cool, man. You're fucking awesome. I'll send you a link so that we can co-chat or co-stream, you know, as they say. All right, well, look, guys, I've been told that when I run away, it's a little too brief, so I don't want to be brief. I want to say I'm going to take my leave, and I want you guys to be able to say goodbye to each other and have a good night. And if I more hastily leave in the future, it is nothing against you. Please take your time to say goodnight to each other, respect each other. And that's the first half of what we heard. I guess it's going to flip over in a minute. Now I got to call up Crazy Brian. I told him I was streaming. You guys, good night. You have the chance to say good night. And I'll see you next one.